Now, you've probably already heard about this issue that's currently ongoing. It's been about a couple of weeks now. This is an article from Cointelegraph about it. You can see that dated November the 6th. And what's happening is the SEC is issuing or has issued numerous subpoenas to HEX influencers. As far as I've heard, there are at least 7 people that are known HEX influencers that have received these letters. I don't know the exact details. There is a copy of a letter that we'll go through in a minute. But as far as I can see, it's just an inquiry into whether or not people are being paid to promote HEX. I think that's the main crux of the issue that's going down. I mean, for the guys involved, it's not a great time. It's going to cost a lot of money to hire lawyers. It's going to take a lot of time. I know people who have shut down their channels on Twitter, YouTube, etc. So it's a lot of hassle. But I mean, as far as I can see, it's just an inquiry. It's not an actual case, and there is potential that this is actually a good subpoena, in the sense that if it is discovered, as a lot of us think, that HEX is not a security, it doesn't qualify as a security, it doesn't pass the Howey test, then this could clear HEX for the future, and this could mean, a real great situation for HEX. But we'll wait and see as to what happens after this inquiry. So let's just go through this article from Cointelegraph. SEC issues subpoena to influencers promoting HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX. The SEC issued a subpoena as part of the investigation, which demanded the influencers in question produce the required documents by November the 15th, 2022. So that date's already passed. So I'm not sure how all these cases are gone. I'm sure we'll get more information in the coming weeks. Over several years, social media influencers have earned a bad rep among regulators for shilling risky and unvetted tokens to millions of investors. Pursuing a crackdown on such scenarios, the US Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) reportedly issued a subpoena to influencers who were found promoting cryptocurrencies such as HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX. Swedish researcher Erik Wall shared an official letter from the SEC dated November the 1st, which was addressed to influencers. It read as follows: "We believe that you may possess documents and data that are relevant to an ongoing investigation being conducted by the staff of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission." The letter was accompanied by a subpoena that was issued as part of the investigation, which demanded the influencers in question produce the required documents by the 15th of November. Now, Erik Wall, he's having a great time with this issue. He's loving every minute of it. Guys, it's happening. HEX influencers are getting subpoenaed by the SEC over HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX. The HEX information channels are filled with information about how to shred your digital evidence. Laughing his head off. He's having a great time. Right, so he's posted some letters which are quite interesting. We'll take a look at them. So this is the first one, and it looks like an official letter. And now that the influencers have confirmed that they have received letters, it is probably the official letter. At the start, people were saying this is a fake letter. But let's just go through this one anyway. The staff of the SEC is conducting an investigation into the matter identified above. We believe that you may possess documents and data that are relevant to an ongoing investigation conducted by the staff of the SEC. Accordingly, we hereby provide notice that such evidence should be reasonably preserved and retained under further notice. Additionally, the enclosed subpoena has been issued to you as part of an investigation. The subpoena requires that you produce documents by the 15th, okay? Please read the subpoena and this letter carefully. The letter answers some questions you may have about the subpoena. You may also read the enclosed SEC form. If you do not comply with the subpoena, the SEC may bring an action in federal court to enforce this subpoena. Failure to comply with the court order enforcing the subpoena may result in the court imposing a fine, imprisonment, or both. Producing documents. What materials have to be produced? The subpoena requires you give us documents described in the attached subpoena. You must provide these documents by Tuesday 15th. The attachment to the subpoena defines some of the terms such as document before listing what you must provide. Please note that if copies of the document file in any way they are considered separate documents, you must send each one. For example, if you have 2 copies of the same letter, but only one of them is handwritten notes on it, you must send both, and both the clean copy and the one with notes on it. So there's more to this part. So this is the subsection of documents to be produced. Documents sufficient to the disclosure or documents or domestic and foreign bank, brokerage, cryptocurrency and other financial accounts held by you or on your behalf or for your benefit, and any other digital wallet, asset wallet addresses held by you on your behalf or for your benefit. Number 2, all agreed documents, the communications concerning HEX, Hart, PulseChain and or PulseX, including but not limited to agreements concerning you and your representatives' promotion of HEX, PulseChain or PulseX. Number 3, all agreements, documents and communications concerning payments you or your representatives received in connection with you or your representatives' promotion of HEX, PulseChain and PulseX or any other digital asset. Right, so those are the 2 documents that were produced by Eric Wall. I'll just show you this quickly. This was a response to one of them from maybe an HEXiKlub called Telmo. Even if it is, what's the SEC going to do about it? Shut down Ethereum, ETHW, ETHFair. Soon enough, they also need to shut down PulseChain. If you understand what HEX is, there's no FUD possible whatsoever. And then this is a HEX pamphlet or leaflet that's been around for a while. Real crypto. HEX meets the ethical standards of true cryptocurrency. No admin keys. No one can alter the system to their benefit. Rules without rulers. No censorship. No one can take your money or stop you from sending or receiving it. Trustless yield. HEX allows you to earn yield natively without giving up your keys. So that was a good response to the tweets that were buzzing around. If we go back to this, just the last bit here. While the HEX community members retaliated against the finding, calling it fake news, Wall quickly pointed out that the HEX information channels on Discord and Telegram were filled with information on preserving anonymity on data and discussions. He further challenged those who claimed that the subpoena was fake, stating, "Hexicans, time to post unblurred versions here. If they're fake, no harm, right?" Then Richard Hart posted on the 3rd of November, "Do you accept good advice you're given? Do you accept the good advice you're given? You think you do, but do you really? Are you using secret chats with self-destruct timers, or are you a slow learner? Is it hard for you to click buttons?" The above tweet supports Wall's claims, however. Wall maintains that he has no respect for the SEC and he's just sharing the information. SEC Chair Gary Gensler recently issued examples of SEC enforcement against crypto lending firm BlockFi and the former Coinbase employee in justifying the agency's actions regarding violations of US securities laws while writing for the Practicing Law Institute's annual Institute on Securities Regulation. According to the SEC, the Commission's enforcement staff consisted of public servants and cops on the beat who were uniting public zeal with unusual capacity. Right, so that's the end of the article. Now, Richard Hart has replied to this previously. So there's a clip which is about, I think, a year old. And he talks about this, the SEC FUD. So let's just play this one.
Oh, SEC FUD. Okay. I love this game, actually, because we've answered these things for years now. Literally years. These same exact stupid ideas. And the share price is up 10,000x now. And we're still answering these stupid ideas from silly people. Or maybe the people aren't that silly. But after 2 years, it's like, come on, guys. We've been answering these same questions for 2 years. SEC. Okay. Richard Hart. Public enemy number 1, persona non grata, prison, right? I go to prison. Okay, now what happens? Let's say hex.com goes offline. Okay. Does the contract still work? Yes. Are there 5 other websites you can use? Yes. backuphex.com, apphex.win, etherscan.io, write contract function, staker.app, hexmob.win, all kinds of front ends you can use. You can build your own front end too. Okay? And now what? There's slightly less live streams. I'm the minority of live streams. I don't live stream very often, but I see tons and tons of Hex live streams. And then if you believe all those fan fiction theories that I'm also the OA, oh God, I guess you don't have to worry about the OA dumping, right? Now, is that fan fiction? I think it is fan fiction. There is no public knowledge in regards to who the OA is or anything like that. But it's just, I'm showing the discongruence in people's stupid fan fiction ideas. They don't make any sense. And that's the reason these guys missed out on a 10,000x price move on the share price, and a 7,000x price move without staking, and a 10,000x price move with staking. They're just dumb people.
So that was Richard's take from about a year ago. So this is an ongoing case, guys. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, and we'll probably report back on it at some point.